when you meet someone from outside of Chicago and they tell you they're from Chicago, they're from Joliet, Evanston, probably Schaumburg, which means they're lying to you, which means the person you've just met is already lying to you. For evidence sake, ask the fake what part. They'll say, part of what? And you'll say, Chicago. That's what we were talking about. That's what this whole conversation was based on. And they'll say, as in, downtown? Or, Wrigley Field? Or, the lake? Those places are relevant because they are for tourists. If they respond with just 30 minutes outside of the city, that's not the city. Because it takes 30 minutes to get there from wherever the fuck they live outside of the city. If they say East Side, they're from Rockford, Illinois. Gary, Indiana. China. Fake Chicagoans are always asking for directions. Fake Chicagoans are always walking on the wrong side of the street. Fake Chicagoans don't say excuse me when they bump into you because fake Chicagoans don't know enough to be polite to real live actual Chicagoans who are well within our right to fuck fake Chicagoans up, which is how you can tell someone's from Chicago. Because they'll fuck you up on GP, which stands for general principle, which means for no good goddamn reason. Because people get fucked up in Chicago for no good goddamn reason. And if you want to be a Chicagoan so bad, Chicago will show you. And people move to Chicago anyway, like their life's in danger, like their life is worth more when it's in danger, as if their life was ever in danger. Like trauma is a fashion statement they can take off when it's too cold. And yes, people who move to Chicago do live in Chicago. True. Fuck them. They're not real Chicagoans. They started somewhere else, and who gives a shit about that place? No one. Because someone from wherever they're from comes to visit, they always say things like, no, I live in the good parts of Chicago. Which means, no, I live in the safe parts of Chicago. Which means I live on the north side of Chicago. Which means away from brown people. Which is kind of a lie. Because there are all sorts of brown people on the north side, none of them are safe. But fake Chicagoans aren't lying to themselves. Because for them, Chicago is a place where you can ignore what you'd rather not see. If you're rich enough, if you're white enough. So rich white people love Chicago. They're moving to Chicago and they tell all their new vacation friends the truth, which is, I'm from Chicago! When they should say, I live near Chicago. Or, I am the bringer of Starbucks and Walgreens and Whole Foods and condos and cops. Or, I'll risk a black man's life for a noise complaint. Or, I live a different experience there. Or, so my next poem. Yeah.